we're here with Jonny Watters with a deck profile from the Irish Regional that happened over last weekend. So whereabouts did you finish?
So I finished fourth. After 7 rounds, I was 5 wins, a draw and a loss. I drew against Striker, and then in the last round, I lost against Thunder Dragons.
What exactly were you playing?
So I went down with Prank Kids, just because I like the deck. I've been playing it for a wee while now. I was playing Altergeist beforehand, but thought I would try a combo deck because I haven't played one, and I'll just say it's been a while. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll just jump straight into the profile then.
Sure. So, I mean, the build's fairly standard for the start. So it's just the 12 Prank Kids. With the release of the Roxy's, now you have the extra Prank Kid to start doing your combos. So that was really important. But yeah, they all summon from deck when they use the fusion or link material, and then they all have additional effects. So you've got a Foolish, one that gains life, one that burns your opponent, and then one that draws your cards. That's the rock one. I didn't play any other monsters. It's 12. I just figured, like, if you're going against a combo deck, I'll just accept the loss. I go first because with it being a combo deck, you can't really play that many hand traps, or you just end up bricking because the deck needs multiple cards to play, essentially. Sort of like Pendulum as well, where you can't afford to play that many hand traps. But yeah, so that's 12. Spell lineup: 3 Poly, 3 Place, 3 Pandemonium, 3 Instant Fusion, 3 Pranks, 2 Desires. I'm not really a fan of this card, but it's just sort of there. If you brick, it can potentially draw you into combos. If you already have a combo, I generally just banish this off the Roxy's.
Yeah.
2 Terraforming, 2 Invocation, 1 Upstart. And then I suppose the 2 most interesting cards in the deck are these 2 here. So it's 1 Reasoning, 1 Fusion Recycling Plant.
Okay.
I was playing the Thunder Dragons, but I opted, going down to this event, I just want the top essentially. If you win, that'd be great, but the plan was to try and top, so I wanted to make the deck as consistent as possible. So I cut 2 Thunder Dragons, so my turn 1 boards are weaker, but these are combo starters essentially. With Reasoning, they're all different levels, 1, 2, 3 and 4, so most of the time it resolves. And then if you just have another Prank Kids, you can even just normal summon a Prank Kids and go off from there, or you can get the extra Prank Kids for a Poly or whatever.
What's the best level to call with the Reasoning?
So people were just calling different levels throughout the day. I actually lost my last round because the guy called 3 and I hit Lamses. I personally think it's best to call 2, because if I get access to Dropsies and another different Prank Kid as my first 2 monsters, you can end on Toad. So what you do is you link the Dropsies and our Prank Kid into Doodle, you get the other 2 and get your search, you link them 2 into Bow Wow, and then you summon 2 Dropsies at the end because you had 2 Prank Kids that weren't Dropsies. While if you don't start with Dropsies, it's much harder to make the Toad without other cards.
Yeah.
But I can understand calling 3 because you would assume maybe Ash Blossom or something in the main.
Yeah. And how was the recycle plan?
It was fine. I only drew it twice. I drew Terraforming a lot quite throughout the day, but a lot of the times I had the Terraforming for the place to get my extra monster to combo off. But this card essentially is just more copies of Poly without having to actually play more copies. Also, so you discard a card and you can add a Poly from your deck or your graveyard, I'm pretty sure as well. Yeah, or your grave to hand. And then in the end phase, or at the end of the turn or whatever, you get to add back a Prank Kids monster that was used as a fusion material that turn.
Okay.
So it lets you add back maybe a piece for Butler at the end or whatever you need. But it also makes your terraforming stronger, because now your terraformings are extra copies of Poly as well, or they can be extra Prank Kids. So yeah, this card was fine, but like I said, I only seen it once or twice throughout the day.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's all the spells. I think there's 24, something like that. And then for the trap lineup, there's 3 evenly and 1 plant.
Okay.
So originally these were called by the Graves, but I realised that against the likes of Altergeists, and I thought I made a prediction that True Draco might have been events. It wasn't, but against like Altergeist and True Draco, you lose really hard game 1 to the floodgates, and even though with evenly they can just keep the floodgate, they lose all their other resources, and even through rivalry and Gozen, you can still make You can still make Bow Wow bark with the Prank Kids, the continuous spell. And Lampsey, you can still make bows. You can still sort of push through as long as they have no cards. But just in general, this card's solid across the board. Like against Sky Striker, it's a blowout. Against Thunder Dragon, it's fine. You normally take like 2 fusions off the board. Ultrageist, it's really good, and just any other decks, it's really good.
Terror and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, just random decks like that. It's more just to deal with that. Well, the thing with Call by the Grave is, if your opponent hand traps you, if you open like, you know, decent and they hand trap you, generally it's not enough. So you don't really care too much about the hand traps. I'd rather have just something that blows my opponent out, essentially. And then just the one plan. Never want multiples of this. It just doesn't do anything. It's not a combo card. You can either just send it for the grind games, or against the likes of Altergeist and the backer decks, you can set it and then blow them out with the roaster.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so that's 40. Extra deck, 2 rockets, 2 washer and butler, these diffusions. You never need any more of these. The 1 butler's fine, and then 2 of each of these fine. You can normally just recycle one with the Prank Kids. It's Pranks. I always get the names mixed up. Yeah, Pranks. You can recycle them essentially, or you can just recycle 1 copy. Generally keeps you in the game anyway, because you want to keep some of your Prank Kids monsters in grave for Weather Washer if you have to do it during your opponent's turn, or things like that. And then, like I said, you only need the 1 butler. You can recycle it. It's grand. And then there's 2 of each of these. So yeah, you again don't really need 3, recycle them. I wasn't playing 2 of this for a while. I had the extra deck space once I cut the Colossus from the extra. So I played the second copy of this. I came up once or twice because I had to grind out a couple of games. So this was really good. 2 of this is fine, again, don't need any more. Sork and Griffin, so these are part of the combo. Even though you don't play the Thunder Dragons, you can still do the turn 1 combo and then with Griffin Toad, and then access the Washer or Butler, depending on what you draw off the pranks. If you draw like a Butler piece, you can get it back. But yeah, these were fine. But normally you would end with like Colossus, Toad, Griffin, but obviously it's just Griffin, Toad, Knight.
For consistency.
Yeah, pretty much. And I suppose it depends. Like sometimes the Griffin isn't good in some matchups. So you can end with different boards. Just depends if you know what you're against. But generally turn 1, if I don't know what I'm against, there's no issue making Griffin Toad. It's fine. And then you've got Boral Sword and Boral Load. Obviously for like Thunder Dragon stuff, it's insane. And then this just wins games. It's far too good. And then you've got the Roaring Roaster for the backer decks, and then the 1 Toad. So, that's side deck. 3 Pankratops for Altergeist, and all the pesky backer decks with Floodgates. I didn't really play any, to be honest, at the event, so this didn't really come up too much, but it was still fine. And then 3 Droll. I thought there might have been some of the Stein decks down there. There were none, so this card was garbage all day. But I just wanted some hand trap just in case there was like some sort of combo decks down there, but I didn't really play any. So, and then the Thunder Dragon stuff. So it's just for going first. Like I said, your boards are a bit weaker, but if you're going first, the evenly matched don't do anything, so you can bring like this stuff in, and your turn 1 combo is just much stronger. I mean, costs pretty good. 3 Call by the Grave. Game sort of just for going first. Like I said, the evenly matched don't do anything going first, and they're not combo pieces, so signing out the evenlies for like these don't hurt the consistency of the deck. It's fine, because obviously with it being a combo deck, you can't really side out a lot of stuff.
There's limited side of spaces.
Yeah, you're talking like 5 or 6 cards you play around with, if even that. But like the evenlies always come out going first, so you can bring these in, just to stop hand traps and stuff. And then it has applications in the majority of matchups anyway. You know, it's all around solid. And then last was 3 Hatronade. This was for Sky Striker just. and pretty much just Sky Striker,
Yeah.
because I wanted something for the Sky Striker deck. Like, I don't really like Pankratops. I don't think it does enough, and none of the other stuff's that great. Like, the Thunder Dragon stuff's fine if you go first, not going second. Caught by the Graves, fine, but again doesn't really play through the likes of the multiple Widow Anchors. And I was tempted by Kaijus as well, but the issue with Kaijus is that a lot of Sky Striker decks are playing Solemn Strikes and Impermanences now, from what I've seen. So I didn't want to Kaiju them and then just get striked and then I lose.
Yeah.
So I played this, and they can respond with things like Ego Booster and stuff, but it doesn't really matter because you just make your combo anyway and then do some damage, and you still end on like your your board, so it doesn't even matter. By the Ego Booster, I'm more scared about losing to Striker and Permanence.
Yeah. So is there anything you'd change about the deck?
Yeah, so, well, it's easy to say now since I knew what was I played at the event, but these were garbage. These probably get changed for something else, I'm not sure what. I still kind of want a hand trap just in case. Like Ash Blossom, I suppose, seems the most flexible one, but honestly don't know. Other than that, everything got used. Again, didn't really use these that much, but again, I wouldn't cut these. These are far too good against the likes of the older guys deck and stuff, and just removing the floodgates.
Okay.
Other than that, deck was solid. I don't think there's any other good combo cards, but if there was a better combo card than the likes of the Reasoning, because the Reasoning's sort of, you're likely to get a guy, but if you don't, it's really bad because you're down a card in a combo deck. So if there was another sort of like combo card that was better than Reasoning, I'd probably cut Reasoning.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, deck solid.
Sweet. Well, thanks very much, and good luck in the rest of your events.
Alright, thank you.